So I finally got a chance to sit down and play through Crash 4, It's About Time, and it was an incredibly enjoyable experience. After its reveal on that one Sony livestream 5 months ago, it instantly became one of my most anticipated games of the year. Originally, I was offered a review copy of the game, and while playing it, I was enjoying it so much that I went out and bought my own copy because I wanted to support the game, and I hoped something like this would not fail because Crash 4 honestly feels like a game fallen straight out of time in the best kind of ways. The biggest thing that instantly hooked me on the game just from its reveal trailer was the visuals. Everything in this game is so vibrant and lively. Something that I've been complaining about a lot in recent years is that a ton of modern games have foregone visual clarity for things like photorealistic or high fidelity graphics. I'm happy to say that Crash 4's visuals almost always maintain visual clarity from things in the foreground and background, allowing me to on the fly be able to parse what is coming up ahead and react to it properly. There were only two distinct moments where they did not uphold this, and that was during one of the dino riding sections and the wall of gears in Cortex's castle. I thought these gears right here were actually part of the background, but in fact they're part of the foreground and are a stage hazard, so I jumped into them and died instantly. I love the designs of Crash and the rest of the cast. In my mind, this is the direction I wish that games took with the jump from the 6th generation to the 7th visually. The game has this whimsical, cartoony element to it, but it also is very high quality. Crash looks both like an amazing toy right out of an unrealistic commercial and a fuzzy plushie. Everybody looks like their concept art that flew right off their pages. The amazing art direction and character designs help sell this game's charm at a single glance in its cutscenes. Everyone is so expressive and animated. Characters will jump through huge ranges of emotion seamlessly while taking perfect advantage of animation with exaggerated proportions to help really sell these reactions. Anytime Cortex is on screen, it is an absolute treat. The dialogue also has a very fun energy to it, and there was never a point in the game where I felt like I was just begging the characters to shut up because they kept berating me with unfunny quips every 2 seconds. Jokes are well paced and timed, with given room to breathe or being brushed away, not giving any emphasis in order to make them funnier.
Wiped from existence by that pompous peacock? I'd like to see him try after I shove that tuning fork up his—
But not if we get to him first.
The charm and energy of this game is also carried so hard by the lovable soundtrack. I never realized how important the music was to the flow of this game until I ran into a bug where the music stopped playing in one level. It just felt so weird to be running through these areas with only sound effects coming from Crash jumping and his footsteps along with incoming enemy attacks. It was like watching a 90s sitcom with no laugh track. This game has become the gold standard for options. If you are familiar with my channel, you'll know that I always champion games that have robust settings and options. I adore when devs give the players the power to tune a game to how they want to experience it. I can't think of a single other game that has so much love and care put into its accessibility options. Crash 4 allows you to turn motion blur and screen shaking on and off. It has 3 different colorblind filters with a 0 to 10 slider for each. It has 3 subtitle fonts, 5 font sizes, and the ability to have a box behind the text to make it pop and not risk it blending in with the environments that might be of a similar color, which also has an opacity slider to make it as pronounced as you want. The basic setup for the game is that Entropy and Cortex open a dimensional rift, which will allow them to take over control of time and space, so it's up to Crash and Coco to collect the 4 quantum masks in order to stop them. As you collect each mask, it adds a layer of complexity to the following levels. For example, the gravity mask allows you to run on the floor as normal or to run on the ceiling of levels, which also has you alternating between both settings in order to dodge obstacles in the environment. In my opening paragraph of this video, I said that Crash 4 feels like a game out of time, and it truly does due to the sheer amount of content it has. It feels like something made 20 years ago. There are 4 playable characters: Crash, Tana, Dingo Dial, and Cortex. You can swap between Crash and Coco anytime you're in the overworld, and they play identical to my knowledge, so if you want, you could say that there are 5 playable characters. Both Crash and Coco have 24 unlockable skins with 3 additional pre-order bonuses. 24! that you can unlock from just playing the game. No micro, no battle pass, no login bonus, none of that bullshit. Just play the game and complete the challenges. There is so much content that if you're someone that needs to 100% games, this might actually become a turnoff, because there are gems, inverted gems gotten from playing inverted versions of levels, flashback tapes which unlock bonus levels that you can obtain by making it to specific points in levels without dying, relics which you get from doing time trials of levels with 3 variations depending on your time. I'll be honest, for as much as I love this game, I don't see myself getting half of these, as it just requires so much time that I sadly don't have. But if you are someone who buys only one game every once in a while, so you look for something that is content rich like open world games or something with a long checklist of content, then this is something perfect for you. My only real complaints with the game are that it didn't come out on PC, so the load times on the PS4 Pro are pretty long. Other than the fact that I'm terrible at this game, in certain levels these load times are so long, they are a serious reason not to play the classic difficulty, as restarting a level can take up to 30 seconds or longer, which breaks the flow of the game. Also, when some of the cutscenes play, my PS4 turns into a jet engine, turning my office into an oven. And if you die when characters are in the middle of talking during gameplay, it completely cuts them off, so when you respawn, it doesn't pick up where they left off or start over again, so you're just missing character interactions. Hopefully that gets patched in the future. I feel like I can't accurately say one way or another about how hard this game is compared to the previous, as I haven't played any of the classic games other than the first 2 hours of Crash 1 on the Insane Trilogy in well over a decade. Movement is super tight and responsive, so I have no complaints in the gameplay department. And while there were definitely really tough areas in this game, nothing felt super impossible and unbeatable. So depending on who you are and how you feel about these games, that could be a positive or a negative. The only real difficulty I had was when playing other characters, as I had become really accustomed to the feeling of Crash's double jump and airtime, so when playing characters like Cortex that didn't have it, that really fucked up my muscle memory. It's hard to say anything else about the game. It's incredibly fun and content rich, but beyond saying that, I don't know what else to describe this game as. From my perspective, it's an amazing Crash game through and through. With Christmas right around the corner, I highly recommend this game as a gift for your gremlin hellspawn or your relative's gremlin hellspawn. This will easily become a classic and a childhood favorite for the kids of today that they will look back with nostalgic memories in 15 years. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thanks for watching as always. If you like the channel, maybe consider becoming a patron on Patreon. All patrons get access to videos a day early, and I'm now going to shout out my $5 and up patrons who really help support the channel. Bully, Lucy the Fox, Comrade Fox, Tristan the White Wolf, Slemp Tingle, Matthew Elliott, Dusty the Zombie, Filthy Finger 69, Clivermort, William Moore, Tyler Schertzer, Some Panda, Poke Joke S, Joshua D. Larino, Chichometrius, Ben Johnson, Sarah Chan, Oods of Nudes, Fish Kami, Joan Eisen, Alejandro Benitez, Star Fox, Flarbu, and Mitchell. Thanks so much, guys. If you're a card game player of any kind, I have a TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. All purchases you make give me a small kickback, so it's another way to help support the channel. I know this video was pretty short. I hope to get some more thoughts on short type videos on some things while I work on my Yakuza 7 review and my Game of the Year video. After those, I want to start on my Yakuza 2 retrospective, and then after that, I don't know what I'm going to do. The goal is to keep uploads happening with smaller, easier to make content, just to hold people over while those big videos get made. Either way, whatever comes next, I hope you enjoy, and as always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.